quorum. And so we'll get started at 7 p.m. I'd like to call to order the January 5th, 2026 meeting of the Woodstock Inlet Wetlands and Watercourses Agency. Time is 7 p.m. and we'll first start with a roll call.
Marla Butts,
Stuart Paisley.
Mark Parker.
And we still don't have Kathy. And sitting in with us tonight is Grace Letty, who is wishing to join us, and hopefully by the end of the week will be appointed. Hello, Grace. All right. The moment we don't have any alternates and to appoint, so we'll move on to action of the previous meeting, the regular meeting of December 1st, 2025.
Marla Butts speaking. I have no comments on the minutes at this time.
Stuart or Mark?
No comments.
No comments. I didn't find anything.
There's one thing that I would like to change, and that's on page 3 under B, agent report. Written report was provided by WEO, John Guskowski. Change that to WA, please.
Well, WEO is Wetlands Enforcement. Whoops, sorry. Yeah, Wetlands Enforcement Officer. I think that's his correct title.
Wetlands agent, I believe, is what we've been requesting.
Well, I noticed on his email that he has his title as WEO. I don't know, whatever we decide.
We did discuss this at a previous meeting.
Oh, okay.
So that was the only. Go ahead, Marla.
The bylaws state that it's a wetlands agent. Whether or not the town hired him as a wetlands enforcement officer, our bylaws and our regulations refer to wetlands agent.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, is there any other changes? Nobody said anything so far, so.
I move to accept the minutes of December 1st, 2025 with a single change under page 3 of 4, the title of the John Gutowski being the wetlands agent, or WA for short.
Stuart Paisley, I second.
Okay, we have a motion by Marla Butt, seconded by Stuart Peasley to accept the minutes from December 1st, 2025 with one correction, and that's changing wetlands enforcement officer to wetlands agent. So replacing on page 3 WEO with WA. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Any abstain? The motion passes. Okay, we still don't have Kathy. Does anybody know if Kathy was expecting to be here tonight? No.
I had spoken to her a couple of days ago. She had a cold, so maybe it turned into the flu. I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't received any correspondence from her.
Okay. So we'll move on to citizens' comments. This portion is intended to be brief in nature. If somebody would like to comment to something that is not on the agenda already. Okay, not hearing anybody, we'll move on. Pending applications. Application 11-25-04, 10 Bighorn Lane, Mark Andre wall, replace retaining wall. Do we have anybody representing this evening?
Do not see him. He submitted a number of some materials after last meeting, but I do not see him, and I haven't spoken with him recently.
So John, do we have, what are the materials that have been updated?
He sent along a representative cross section of that I sort of put on the screen right now of the proposed lake and fill behind the wall. He also included an item of I think this page is also new. It's a little bit of a diagram of where the silt fence will be and the extent of the proposed wall replacement. And then he also included an email from Kelly Billings, the Bungie Lake Tax District Acting Building and Zoning chair, indicating that they are okay with replacement of the wood retaining wall, upgrading to stone as long as guidelines from wetlands were followed. But I believe that's the additional information.
So, John, I'm looking up the document I downloaded from last meeting, and the cross-section, a typical cross-section of the wall was there, as well as the diagram.
These were both
that-
there? Okay. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it's November.
those were in the past documents. We had asked him, I believe, to send in cross sections regarding the retaining wall and the walls along the lake, so we would know what the slope was. And his email that he said that was sent that you supplied on this time said that he had attachments, but I didn't see the attachments. So I don't know if he submitted them and they just didn't get when you asked Tracy to post the email, whether or not she didn't open up the attachments and post those, but I didn't see them there.
Okay, looking at the date of that was December. This was sent December 6th. I will look at December 6th in my email. I significantly doubt that this was Tracy not posting something. Right.
Yeah, he said he attached cross sections of the proposed retaining wall and the lake walls with a
Yeah.
slope. And
Okay.
then Ms. Billings sent an email of 12/16 and regarding the Lake Association granting permission, but she makes no reference to the lake wall, which is the one we're more concerned with because that would be touching the Lake Association's property. So she made reference to stuff in front of the house, but and to the retaining walls up on the slope, but she didn't say anything about the wall along the lake shore, which is the one we were concerned about regarding the Lake Association.
Wait, hold on. Has Kathy joined us? No. I thought I saw Kathy trying to come in. Hold on. I did find in that email, there was, Marla, it was good catch on your part. There was an attachment that didn't end up in the file. Hold on, I'll share that in just a second. She's not there. I thought I saw her pop up. Okay. All right, stand by.
That's new. That we did not have.
Yeah, this was not in the packet. This was sent this on that date. And I apologize. This did not get attached.
Yeah, this is one I had a question about. Who did this drawing?
It looks like prepared by Creative Exteriors LLC in Vernon.
So not a structural engineer.
Well, there's no, I don't know, but there's no license information attached to it.
Okay.
So it does.
yeah.
It did show that the wall, which he had said before, was going to be 24 inches high. Looks like he's showing that. But we've had concerns. We don't have the Lake Association's approval on the wall. It's not stated in Ms. Billings' email. So this application was received last month, based upon what I'm seeing, 11/25/04. The receipt date would have been December 1st. So we have more time that we can consider this application. So this information could be included in next month's meeting, and perhaps he could get a clarification from Ms. Billings regarding the Lake Association's permission to do work on their property or at their shoreline, because it looks like he has to go into a portion of the lake bed in order to get the footing in.
Stuart Peasley, I have a comment about the structural integrity of the two walls together. We don't know the separation between the two. We're seeing the same details used on the lower one as on the upper. We don't know the structural loads. We don't know the soil. I think it really needs a professional review.
What did we have?
If the upper wall, and the case in point being, if the upper wall did fail, then it would have significant impact on the lower wall, which is adjacent to the wetlands, to the lake pond. So that's my only concern. I just thought I'd raise it. Up to other members to decide what they would like.
So the minutes from last month's meeting stated the motion was by me and seconded by Peasley. That replacement of the retaining wall for consideration at the next wetlands meeting, with 2 requested documents to be provided in advance, and that was passed unanimously. And those 2 documents were the cross-section done by an engineer showing the slope from the water's edge across both walls and to the lawn of the residents, as well as the written approval from the Bungay Lake Association was required. So I move to table this application to next month to provide the applicant an opportunity to address these concerns.
Second motion.
Okay, we have motion by Marla Butt, second by Stuart Peasley to table application 11-25-0410 Bighorn Lane for Marc-Andre Roy, replace retaining wall for want of further information. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstain? The motion passes. Okay, next application. Pending application 11-25-07 159 Laurel Hill Drive, Heather
Excuse me.
McFarlane. Yes,
Bill, hi, I just want to let you know that I just joined. I don't know what's wrong. I was looking
Kathy,
for us and,
I think you clicked the planning and zoning meeting link rather than wetlands meeting.
well, I don't know how I did that. Never mind. Anyway, hi, I'm here. Happy New Year.
okay. Yep, Kathy is joining us at 7:15 p.m. Okay, the application is before us on the screen. I believe Mr. McFarlane was here to, if you wish to, do we have the information that we need, or is there anything further that we're gonna need?
I'm here with Mr. McFarland tonight. We had talked last month. I think we passed
Okay.
everything into you guys that you needed. I know we needed the from the Lake Association. We got that into you, I believe, as well as a diagram of what we needed. So if there was anything else, I'm more than willing to talk about it.
Hmm.
Does anybody have any questions or comments?
I'm still pulling up the file. Hold on a second. And this one is 2507. Okay.
I have a question, Bill.
What's
This
that?
says typical retaining wall. Is this exactly what they're gonna build, Nick?
Yeah, it's exactly what was. We're just replacing with the stone that's actually already there. We're gonna remove the mortar that's on the stones already, and just rebuild it up. We'll be adding 4 steps in, as we discussed in last meeting. So that would be why we're bringing the mini excavator into the backyard and down by the lake. And that would really be to like strap the steps and put them into place.
So we were asking for a detailed drawing of the proposed project. And you're showing a cross section? That's
Yes.
not, I don't think that's what we were looking for. I
Oh.
think we were looking for seeing what the extent of the work was, where it was, and the cross section is helpful, but
Sure. Okay.
this is not like a drawing of the proposed work. It's just
Sure.
a
Okay.
cross section.
Okay. So you would like an overlay over the property plan?
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
Showing where the areas of disturbance, what the extent of the, kind of like in the last application, you saw
Yep.
a drawing that was used, some background drawing, and then they wrote on top of that.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, the
No problem.
length of the wall. Yeah.
Well, and I think my wife had been working with the Lake Association and passing the stuff along, and I know she did that. I mean, it wasn't real fancy. It's basically just the one, border that abuts the lake.
Yeah, and that's all that really technically we're concerned about, but I
Yeah.
didn't see any letter of approval in the documents that were posted.
I believe that's been done. I know my wife said she talked to Kelly at the lake, who was passing it over to, I think she was passing it over to John, who I think was on. I'm not sure if you guys had gotten that or not, but
We don't have it
I'll double
in the
check,
posted
but,
documents.
no.
So
Okay.
I would, Marla Butt speaking, I would move that application 11-2507 be tabled to next month's meeting to provide the applicant an opportunity to show a site plan showing the proposed work, the area of disturbance, and where the walls are going to be, as well as some written correspondence from the Lake Association indicating that they have no objection to the work along the property boundary.
Second,
That was Mark, seconded.
yes.
Okay. So we have motion by Marla Butt, seconded by Mark Parker to table application 11-25-07, 159 Laurel Hill Drive to next month's meeting for some additional information as requested. Is there any further discussion?
I would just note, Mr. Chair, John Gieskowski, I would just note, Mr. McFarland, I just double checked my email archive. I did not receive anything from Kelly Billings at the association as of yet.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain? So the motion passes. Okay, moving on to new applications. Applications 12-25-01, 103 Rawson Road, Brianna and Christopher Kremers, 2-lot subdivision with 1 new lot. So Daniel, would you like to present this?
Yes, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, great. Thanks. For the record, Daniel Blanchette, civil engineer and surveyor. We're here tonight to discuss a 1-lot subdivision to create 1 new house. Before I get started, Brianna is here with us. Brianna, would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, excuse me. Hi, everyone. I'm Brianna Kremers. This is my husband, Christopher.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah. Chris grew up here in Woodstock, and we have a son that goes to the elementary school, and yeah.
All right, perfect. Thank you. So again, just to reiterate, we're not expecting an approval this evening. We're here to discuss this with the commission, see if you have any concerns or questions. The basic proposal is to do a subdivision to create 1 new building lot, again, for his family member, his daughter, Brianna. Right now, you can see the boundary survey. The proposed lot is going to be about 6 acres. There are 0.7 acres of wetlands located towards the road. There's not enough space to build a house between the road and the wetlands, and therefore we will have to have a driveway that crosses the wetlands to access most of the good land. We've tried to keep the house, the septic system, all outside the upland review area, but again, the driveway will involve some wetland disturbance to get across. Wetland soils were delineated by Rick Zulik in August of this year. The proposed wetland crossing, again, most of the work we tried to keep outside the upland review area. The work within the wetlands will result in 1,600 square feet of disturbance and a small culvert being installed to convey any runoff. We're proposing a 12-inch culvert. I've submitted calculations that indicate a 12-inch culvert can handle the 25-year storm, which I feel is sufficient for this project. The outlet velocity is estimated at about 6 feet per second, and so I've specified modified riprap at the outlet to prevent any kind of erosion or scour. Of course, we have erosion controls installed at appropriate locations. I think it's a pretty straightforward project. Does anyone have any questions?
Daniel, I have a couple. Marla Beth speaking.
Yes, please.
First, is this a free split?
You might recall, so actually I had been before the commission a month or 2 ago to do a free split for another family member, Chelsea. And so the free split was already performed. The free split is located north of the existing house. And right now we're proposing to build at the southwest corner of the site. Exactly. Thank you, Sarah.
So the Planning and Zoning Commission will be looking for our comments on this application since it has actual work in wetlands
Yes,
for
ma'am.
their subdivision approval. Okay.
Absolutely.
Second question, regarding the cross culvert, how much, I know you have 12 inches, you have the hydraulic calculations. How much clearance, how much fill over top of the pipe is there on that culvert?
Approximately 1 foot.
So normally, isn't it 2 feet that is on a cross culvert that's going to potentially bear like oil truck or whatever?
If the commission wants 2 feet of cover, I would be happy to specify that, but it will result in more wetland disturbance.
Mm-hmm.
As we pick the driveway up, the grading will have to slope further into the wetlands. I feel 1 foot is sufficient, but if the commission wants 2 feet of cover, I'm fine with that.
So that's kind of like an engineering judgment call. So since this is the only access to the house, I think before we get back to the next meeting, because we can only receive this application at this meeting, since it is actual work in wetlands.
Yep.
So we can't take an action on it anyways until next month. just check it out with your clients, discuss with them two issues. One, is it possible that they could have 2 feet of fill and maybe have a little retaining wall as it crosses the wetland, meaning, like a little head wall, so that you don't have additional fill going out into the wetlands, or minimal amount. And then finally, since it's designed for a 25-year storm, which I think is really good, but we found some episodic events, and if this driveway is not going to be paved in a really massive storm, they could find that their driveway's washed out. And would they have the ability would they be interested in putting in a slightly larger pipe so it exceeds the 25-year storm? But that's up to you, because 12 inches could get clogged pretty easily. And I'm just asking these questions as a possibility to investigate before they come back next month to look at those alternatives, to see whether or not they're interested in trying those out.
Absolutely. No, that's a great comment, a great suggestion. I will definitely explore that with my clients.
Just of note, one of the drawings shows the drainage area south of this. So you'd be going down for the 4.5 acres drainage area.
Correct. Yeah. If you scroll down a little bit, please. I have a drainage area map attached to my application. The drainage area is quite small. It's about 4.5 acres. It actually flows south to north, which is a bit unusual.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe down a little bit more.
It's on page 5 of the document.
Thank you.
Yep.
There it is. Yeah.
It's not a very large drainage area at all. I mean,
No,
it's pretty minimal.
No, it's right at the very beginning of the wetlands. Yes.
Yeah. The only reason why I make that suggestion is these are alternatives that they could address now and decide now whether or not it's worth their while, worth the additional cost. Because obviously little retaining walls or a head wall would be more expensive than just plain flat and leaving it with 1 foot of fill over it.
Understood. That's a great idea.
I move to accept application 10-25.
I have a question before
Okay, forget it. Yep. Go ahead.
One question, was this brought before the commission before? This is the first time?
But this
Correct. Yeah, I had submitted an application again for the same property as a free split to create one lot for another family member at the north of the property. And so I'm sure the name is familiar to everyone.
I just looked it up on Google Earth, and at the roadside view, you can see where logging has occurred there. Have they cleared the lot? It looks like the yard for the logs was brought out through the driveway, where the driveway would be now.
I don't believe there was any logging. I can check into that. If you look at where we have the driveway that's proposed, it lines up with an existing barway in the stone wall. And so historically, this is how people have accessed the site. Again, this is an existing access route to cross the wetlands at the narrowest point.
Yeah, it's hard to see from the Google photos, but from Google Earth, it looks like that where they did the logging is right where the driveway is now.
Okay, so Brianna, can you?
Yeah, so the area that you're looking at on Google Earth is going to be Jake and Chelsea's lot. It's to the north of the property.
Okay.
So that was done, my in-laws had it done with a local company a couple of years ago. So the property's not cleared yet, but they had some trees removed at some point.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the only question I had, just to make sure we're not out of sequence.
So I move to accept application 12-2501, 103 Rawson Road, map 5705, block 12, lot 14 by Brianna Kremers and Christopher Kremers for a 2-lot subdivision and the construction of a driveway across wetlands.
I'll second Stuart Peasley.
Okay, we have motion by Marla Butt, seconded by Stuart Peasley to accept application 12-25-01, 103 Rawson Road, Brianna and Christopher Kremers for subdivision for new single-family home and with one wetlands crossing. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Anyone abstain? And the motion passes.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. I will discuss that with my client, and I will see you next month.
Okay, thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Yep, good night. Moving on to new application 12-25-02, 33 Meehan Road, map 5781, block 49, lot 08. Steve and Wendy Turner, 3-lot subdivision with 2 new lots outside upland review area.
So in this case, the applicant, and we have, I believe, Mr. Woodis from Archer KWP with us on behalf of the application. But my understanding, and Bruce can verify or contradict me, is there's no work in the wetlands or in the upland review area proposed, but this is a subdivision, and the Planning and Zoning Commission would expect a report of some type from the Wetlands Commission, the Wetlands Agency, and so this is basically an administrative step to get your concurrence. And so we had Mr. Woodis fill out a determination for a permitted use as of right or a non-regulated use, just to get your formal concurrence that this is not, in fact, in need of a full wetlands application and review. And I'll turn it over to Mr. Woodis.
Yes, good evening. I am Bruce Woodis. I am not Nancy Mullally Woodis. Unfortunately, the Zoom application is under my wife's name. So we're proposing 2 new building lots, and there's a small amount of wetlands up on the upland or uphill from the proposed building sites, and they're almost 200 feet away from the nearest disturbance. But the statutes require that if a subdivision has any wetlands on the property, regardless of whether you're in the upland review area or not, that you have to formally make a submission to the Wetlands Commission, so that then the Planning and Zoning Commission can tick off that box that we have done our statutory duty. So a very, very simple subdivision application. 19 acres is the property. The Turners, Wendy and Stephen Turner, live on the property, and this is the existing conditions plan that you see. You can see the wetlands, in the
Sorry, Bruce.
sort of center
I can
portion.
zoom in. You let me know where you want to go.
Oh, okay. Well, if I move the cursor, can you see the cursor that I'm moving around?
No. I'm
Okay.
sharing my screen. It's
Can you can you
I
point
can-
to
I
the
can see it.
wetlands?
The wetland
Yeah.
flags are
Oh, right up here.
situated between
Yeah.
2 stone walls.
Right.
Okay,
And then the proposed development is downhill from those wetlands in that area
Here, the
there.
wetlands flags right up here.
Yeah, you probably could slide it up to the site development plan so the
Okay.
folks could see the proposed. That's a subdivision plan. Keep going.
Sheet 6. Yeah.
There you
All
go.
right. Let me rotate this. Oh, where am I going? Sorry, I'm over rotating.
That's it.
Whoa. Sorry.
It doesn't want to cooperate.
It is double rotating every time I click once. So hold on. Come on. There we go.
There we go. So
All
if
right.
you slide the drawing up, there you go.
So it's at the
So,
rear of the lot.
so they're to the rear of the two proposed lots. There's the small amount of wetlands. They were flagged by Joe Thoreau.
Do you have
Back-
that on the drawings, referenced on
here.
the drawings?
What's
No,
that?
do you have Joe Thoreau's delineation referenced on the drawings? And when he
Yes.
did that, what
Yep.
page is that on?
On the page that we're looking at, if you look
Four?
at the,
Four
if
oh
you-
five?
whatever
Yeah,
we're looking
yeah.
at right now,
This
if
is
you look
sheet
at the
405.
notes,
Yeah, it's your sheet 405. Okay, it's in the notes.
yeah. Note number 8 says wetlands were flagged in the field by Joseph Thoreau,
Right here.
certified soil scientist in September 2025.
Wait a minute. I'm getting the same problem that he's getting. Got it.
Marla, if you look at my screen, I can zoom in. if you'd
Okay,
like.
zoom in, please. Still can't read it, but
There you go.
There we are,
survey
right
notes.
here.
Okay, got it. And just want to make sure that's on there for them.
And so
You don't
then
show
here-
the upland review area though on this drawing.
No, we didn't. It's almost the proposed garage, the closest point is 190 feet away
Okay,
from the wetlands.
and number 8. Oh, there you go. Okay,
And downhill.
gotcha. I don't see any reason why the commission can't register a ruling that no regulated activities are occurring and the commission has no objection to the subdivision. I don't know how anybody else feels about it.
I agree.
Bill Rowinski, I have one question. On page 3, I think it is, you have Stone's trench detail. Where would that be?
On the detail sheet?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You want to go back to page sheet
Page-
3?
Yeah,
This is sheet 3. This is sheet 3. All right, let me try to rotate this.
no, that's not that one.
Okay.
No,
so
The
it's
one with
prob-
all the,
It would
the
be
one with all the
sheet.
details.
right here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Stone
Yeah, it
trench
might
detail?
appear in the order as number 3, but it's really sheet number 5. It's the last.
Okay. So you
Yeah,
have
this-
stone trench detail. Where
Yeah.
is that?
That's for
going?
that's for the septic system.
Okay,
That's the septic leaching trenches.
all right. I wasn't sure what that was referring to, so,
Yeah, no, there's no proposed curtain drains or anything like that on the property.
okay. All right, that's all the questions I have.
Okay, thank you.
Can I just ask maybe a silly question? Hello.
Sorry, I can
If
go
we
back
can
to
go back
sharing
to
the
the-
screen. Okay. Yeah, where do you want to go, Kathy?
Can you go to the original map that we were looking at, the
Mhm.
big one with the, I think it was page 5, maybe, I'm not sure.
The survey or the site development plan?
I'm sorry?
You want the survey map or the site development map?
Okay, just back up a little bit down.
Yeah, I think she's looking for what is technically sheet 4, but it's 5, 5 in the order of appearance.
Okay, this
Yeah.
might be it. I'm looking for something up the road. Where's the driveway for the lot that's proposed?
Well, there are two lots
Okay,
that are
stop.
proposed.
Stop, I see it. Okay, the driveway is extremely long. It goes around a curve
Yeah.
and comes into the house. I have never seen, and maybe that's just my inexperience, an emergency vehicle turnaround. Is that something that's common? I mean, this is not a challenge, Bruce. I'm just asking the other members before we took off with the map and I couldn't see it anymore.
No, there's a very simple explanation for that. The subdivision regulations require that if the driveway is over 300 feet, that you have to supply a turnaround for emergency vehicles, like
Oh.
a fire truck or a large vehicle, should there be some sort of an emergency. And not only that, you're required to provide a bypass, which you can also see on that driveway a little bit downhill towards the corner. Again, for vehicles to pass, if whether they be emergency vehicles or oil delivery truck or what have you, it's just part of the standard driveway requirements
Oh,
for the
okay.
town of Woodstock. So we have dutifully followed the regulations and put that turnaround in there.
Bruce, I'll need to double check. I remember the turnaround, but I had thought that was part of a shared driveway, not a private driveway. But we can double check.
Well, we can double check on that, but I thought I remembered that as part of the driveway
Yeah. Yeah.
regulations.
Well, I mean, it's good to have, but
It absolutely is. Although I'm not certain that the minimum that they require, which is 10 by 30, is enough for an extra large emergency vehicle or fire truck. But it says minimum size. But we can double check that. That's a planning and zoning commission issue.
Yeah.
So Bruce, I have one last question,
Sure.
which really applies to planning and zoning. I don't see where the area of disturbance is, and I can tell from the aerial photography from 2023 that these two lots are basically in an open field that's grassed.
That is
So,
correct. Yeah.
yeah, and so it's a pretty extensive vegetative buffer, but I don't see any erosion and sediment controls. Did you assume that that vegetative buffer would not be disturbed during the course of construction and therefore act as the erosion sediment control?
The answer to that is no, not necessarily. Yes, there's a vegetative buffer down near the road and along the property lines as well.
I'm looking towards the wetlands. So I'm only concerned about the wetlands
Yeah.
at this
So,
juncture.
so the wetlands are located up gradient from the proposed development.
Oh, do I have this
S-
backwards?
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
a little odd, but
oh,
they're up gradient, so you would not have silt fence to protect the wetlands because they're uphill.
okay. So these numbers keep twisting around on me. Hold on a second. 226, 278.
so yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
this is 636, 638,
Yeah,
640.
okay. Never
Yeah.
mind. However,
No,
however, planning
good
and zoning
question.
might want to have erosion and sediment controls for going towards the street, like construction entrance and what's going to stop sediment from washing into Meehan Road. So during
Yeah, we
construction.
have called for a construction entrance during the site development and then, replaced by a paved apron. But you are correct. We will be adding silt fence in the area just down gradient from the main development area, the septic system and the home.
Mhm.
And then any other place where we could be down gradient from the driveway. Uh, Before these plans get to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Gotcha. That's not a specific wetlands concern, but it
No,
should
it's
be a
not. It's not a
concern.
wetlands issue, but it
Yep.
is an issue, and we will be addressing that.
Okay, thanks. Somebody else want to make a motion?
Nobody
right,
can
I'm-
do it as good as you.
I know, because I'm so experienced at it, right?
Well, if I could read all the numbers right and not goof up, I would cheerfully make the motion, but let me
Marla,
Well,
try. Let me try.
Remember, it's a jurisdictional ruling. So that's what you're approving is a jurisdictional ruling.
Okay. We're approving a jurisdictional ruling on the property 12-25-02, 33 Meehan Road, MBL number 5781/49/08. A 3-lot subdivision, 2 new lots outside the upland wetlands area. For Stephen and Wendy Turner. I've run out of things I know what to
You might,
say.
you might want to add that no regulated activity is proposed. And the commission has no further comment.
Okay, there are no regulated activities proposed, and the agency has no further comments. I'm sorry, Bruce, to be testing this out.
You did great. You
I
did
second
great.
the motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Kathleen Barrett and seconded by Marla Butts to what she said.
Approve the jurisdictional ruling.
Approve the
Application
jurisdictional
122502.
rulings that they're on application 12-25-0233 Meehan Road. That there's no regulated activities and no further action is required by the agency.
Oh, Bill, now you're just showing off.
No, I'm not.
Hey, wait a minute.
Uh,
How did I get to be Bruce Woodis? Who changed that?
John
You
did.
John did, yeah.
Thank you, John.
Is there any
All
further
right.
comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, the motion passes.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good to see
Yep,
you,
you're
Bruce.
welcome.
Nice to see you
Thank you.
all. Happy New Year to all
Yep.
of you.
Happy New
Yep,
Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to administrative business, agent report.
Okay, oh, I can put that on the screen. There's nothing much to it, I would note. It's in the file. Once again, as things tend to happen, we got those two applications following the drafting and submission of my agent report. So we had those two additional applications that you dealt with, and I appreciate your dispatching them efficiently. So we'll have one of those show up next month. I'd note the ongoing saga of Mr. Sheldon on Quarry Road is continued to planning and zoning meeting this coming Thursday. He has gotten some wetlands delineation, I believe, and we'll see the results of that for the Planning and Zoning Commission, and relative to his claims that no activity took place anywhere near the wetlands. So we'll see. I'd also note that there was some follow-up from the neighbors of Mr. Gabrielle on Crystal Pond Road. As you'll recall, we heard his tale of adding some rocks to armor his shoreline last month and issued him a formal, basically denial of activity, but didn't require him to remove anything, and basically just said, going forward, please double check with the commission if he's doing any, or the agency if he's doing any other activity. But I received an additional complaint from neighbors there about some rock deposition, and there was nothing much else to report. He was doing some additional clearing of some dead brush and that sort of thing, so there was nothing to follow up on there. We also got some concerns about tree removal along what was called the Wedding Point at Roseland Park. You guys had dealt with, I think, probably about a year and a half ago, approvals for some tree removals in that area, and there was some concern that they were exceeding the number of large trees to be removed. But I followed up with the Roseland Park people and got documentation of basically a badly storm damaged tree that they were clearing, that I think one of the neighbors was just mistook for gratuitous clearing, and it was in my sense necessary because of to finalize the storm damage. And other than that, I would just note that our parade of clerks has landed on another victim. Volunteer. Assistant, and I'm happy to note that our old friend Dan Malo is helping us out with wetlands minutes for the time being. So welcome back, Dan. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, Dan. Thank you.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
Thank you, Dan.
Hello.
Well, I'm glad Dan's here because I do have a question for you, John. I see from the Planning and Zoning Commission meetings from the beginning of December that they're considering doing revisions to the zoning regulations regarding multifamily housing. Back just about the time when Dan left, I had given the agency, some suggested edits to the zoning regulations with respect to the wetlands interaction, the wetlands agency's interaction with planning and zoning. And I don't think you have those. It would have been in June and July, or maybe even in May of this past year. If people recall, for example, one of the things that and I had a justification. Have you seen that document anywhere? I can forward it to you. It's got a justification for the changes, and we decided to put it on hold until planning and zoning was ready to modify their zoning regulations. There was no need to modify them ahead of them doing other work, because we knew out of the plan of conservation and development, they were probably going to make some modifications. So I could forward that.
I'm sure Dan noted it. And his email archives were turned over to me. I will say that sounds vaguely familiar. I don't recall in depth looking through it, but if you want to re-forward it, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, because I actually had justification for each of the changes.
I don't doubt that you did.
Yeah.
I would note, just from the planning and zoning standpoint, I think we are many months away from anything formal. They are proceeding very, very gradually on this, because it's a fairly substantial change to their approach. So they're going to take their time.
Could you keep us informed as to what those changes might be, so that we would get an idea as to whether or not we have to weigh in on any of those?
Sure, I can tell you specifically what they are right now, if you'd like. Okay. Which is that they're considering modifying their allowed uses in the community district on lots of 1 acre or more and 2.5 acres or more to allow as of right middle housing, which is to say 2, 3, or 4 units as of right.
In a single structure or multiple structures?
In a single structure, with the caveat that accessory apartments would allow to be separate, which is already the case.
Okay, so it would be like a multifamily house.
Precisely.
And,
up to 4 units.
Yeah, and then they could have an accessory apartment in a separate structure.
You could have one. Yeah, you could either have a main house and an accessory structure, or a principal dwelling with up to 4 units in it. You wouldn't do both. Like, you wouldn't do 3 and 1.
Right.
You could do
Gotcha. Okay, thanks.
Are there people that want to build those kind of things, those houses, or is this just something that the planning and zoning is picking up the right for, or the
it's well, hard to say. This is an initiative of the Planning and Zoning Commission. They're recognizing that the town has not had sufficient housing growth opportunities, and a likely culprit of that is overly restrictive development regulations, particularly when it comes to multifamily. Okay. And so, like, we've had multifamily zoning regulations in place for 25 years, and literally nobody has tried to build a multifamily in Woodstock in over 2 decades. So they're trying to basically turn one of the dials to see if that would spur some growth in a relatively gentle way. But I mean, the thing is, nobody has been knocking on my door saying, "Hey, I really need to build this 4-family," because right now you just can't, and the answer is no. So, we hope that there is demand. We believe that there is demand in Woodstock, but part of the appeal of this proposal is, well, let's find out. Let's make it possible and see if anyone bites. If no one bites, no harm done. If people bite, then we'll see. Marla.
Question: would like multifamily, like, isn't currently now 10 acres? You have to have a minimum of 10 acres.
Correct, and the density and the development density is 1 unit per acre.
Okay, so like the Synexic house, because they have more than 10 acres, they could have had 4 units.
Yes, yes, they could have by special
On-
permit. Yeah,
but they can't.
but I don't know if, cool, because the existing house is, the principal structure is real close to the road, right? Am I thinking of the right place?
Yes and no. I think it's probably at least 50 feet back.
Okay, I mean, but these regulations would require the principal structure to be 200 feet back.
Oh, well, that
Um,
I could see is excessive.
I don't know if it would be able to do that because it's a pre-existing building. I doubt it because they're changing in use. But anyway, but yeah, the current multifamily regulations are pretty onerous
Okay.
as they stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I talked to a number of people when I was standing in line at Soleil and Son Bakery coming out of Massachusetts, and one of the things that attracts people to this area is its rural nature, and it doesn't have a lot of apartment buildings.
Sure.
And I think that's probably what the Planning and Zoning Commission has to weigh in its mind as to what the character of the town and the feel of the town is for the people who already live here, and how that could change. So I'm sure they're going to have to work this out some way, shape, or form.
Yep, that's precisely
Yeah.
the struggle.
I'm going to jump in here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I want to jump in here a little bit first. This is not coming just from planning and zoning. This is coming from several different directions. It's being discussed heavily and researched some in the POCD. The senior group in one of their seminars talked about it, and some of the studies coming from the state and other people see a lack of what they call middle housing. Housing this size and type and also for more affordable housing, and also under the heading of housing equality or other description of that sort. So this is not just the planning and zoning trying to flip a switch and see what happens or drastically change, that these are coming from many different directions. That summarizes it, John.
Yeah.
Primarily, it's coming from the state requirement that we have a certain amount of different kinds of housing that Woodstock is way behind on.
That's coming down the road too.
Yep.
So that's my somewhat extended report, I guess.
Do we know how Greenwich feels about that?
Oh, they're not happy.
I bet they are.
All right, so we move on then.
So,
We have
wait a second, Bill. Does the
Go ahead.
commission have any objection to me sending those the proposed changes for the zoning regulations that we discussed back in May and June?
I need to
I don't
look at it again.
You'd like to look at it? Okay,
Yeah.
then maybe what we should do is post it for the next regularly scheduled meeting. So I'll forward that to you, John, so that you can have that up, because we
Okay.
do still have new members here.
Yeah, that sounds
that
good.
might want to see that. Okay, I can do that. Okay, sorry, Bill.
It's okay. All right, let's move it. And then if John doesn't have anything else, we'll move on. I don't know that we need to look at the correspondence from the Chamberlain Pond pesticide permit. I believe
that
that
was just-
Solitude has done that before.
Right.
This
They're
is mostly for
copying you.
reference.
Yeah. It's a DEP permit. They're copying you on it.
Financial report, do we have one?
We didn't get one, I don't think. We had requested it and I didn't see it by the time we published this, so no, I apologize. I don't think there's anything too earth-shattering.
The only thing I could say is the last legal notice was probably going to cost over $100 just for that legal notice, I anticipate. So that's we're trying to plan way far ahead in budgeting. The town's trying to plan way far ahead, but at this rate that we're going, then we might even need more than we added. So the cost just keeps getting up. I know the last one I think was 7648 or something like that. So,
yeah.
And that there weren't any as many items as one last month.
If I can, speaking of publication of decisions, I asked the collective and happy to have Dan here for this. The jurisdictional ruling, which is by, you basically decided that it wasn't a matter you needed to act upon. Is that a formal noticeable decision? Is that an appealable decision? I wouldn't think so, but I just want to
No.
verify. Okay, so that's not
There's
something-
no requirement to publish a legal notice for that.
Okay.
You're just declaring your jurisdiction,
right. Okay,
and
Great.
it's not appealable. I mean, of course, somebody could take it to
could
court.
could claim right,
but
but yeah, just
okay.
I don't. Okay, great. Thank you, Marla.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is draft IWWA application forms. So we had several sample forms that were included that I don't believe we previously looked at. And just to make
Yes.
note that we also have a special meeting scheduled for next week to delve into these for more details.
I put on so there are three documents linked. The IWWA form, the document linked there is the advice from IWWA that would be posted on the website as a clickable link. I think we looked at this last time. I don't know if you guys wanted to sort of formally recommend that it be posted. And then Marla also included, or she had sent along previously, proposed applications to modify an inland wetlands permit and the request to transfer a permit. And both of these have been proposed and not posted.
And then we were going to also discuss the section, the concept that I had proposed about having a base form with attachments for the various types. And I know that Stu wanted to talk about that a little more and come up with something that was maybe a little simpler. So that was we were going to talk about all the application forms during this meeting to look at the approach. Because I had suggested a base form with other attachments. That's not on this listing. It was on prior meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was going to be included in this meeting to see where we were actually going to go with our application forms.
Yeah, you're talking the special meeting on the 14th
Yeah.
for general overview and then
Yep.
specifics.
Yep. Did we decide that
Oh.
the 6 o'clock was okay? For that
Yeah.
meeting
I don't-
on the 14th?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we got a confirmation on that.
Okay, so who's going to do the special meeting agenda?
I'll get it
gonna-
posted. I don't know what
Oh, I didn't see that.
the agenda.
It's already posted?
No. I'm happy to post it. I don't know what the order of business ought to be.
I think you have to talk to Bill on that, how he wants to have that done. So, but I just want to make sure that it gets
Where's the
posted
meeting going to be? Whoops, sorry.
at town
Where's the
hall
meeting going to be? At town hall?
in person.
Okay.
But we got to be careful because the flu is up.
Yep.
The numbers are up, so I'll probably be wearing a mask.
Yep.
And COVID too.
Yeah.
COVID too, yes. Also, COVID also.
And a really weird cold.
Well, that flu, I heard people are sick with a bad cough for like 2 months.
Yep.
I
I've-
had a really weird cold over the holidays. It was unbelievable.
Mm.
I don't know what it's called, but I call it a weird cold.
Just drags on forever.
Won't go away. Then it comes, you think it's gone and pow, it comes right back. Same thing.
So, Bill, I don't know if would you like to just send me a couple of items that you would like to have on the agenda and I'll turn it into an agenda, or do you want me to propose something? Because I'm still a little hazy about how far wide ranging you want to be at this thing.
Let me ask you first, is this something you would like to be involved with? As far as this special meeting and the discussion on development of forms, which forms we want to do? Or you just want us to do it and tell you what we want?
I'm not sure what you're asking me, Bill.
Do you want to
Are you-
attend?
Oh, thought I was required to attend. If this is something that can happen without me, I'm happy to let you guys do your business.
You're so generous.
Well,
Well-
maybe you should go, John, because as I shared with everyone last month, I have right hip surgery the following week on the 21st. And if I'm feeling well on the 14th, I don't think I'll come because I want to stay healthy for my surgery.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Well, I guess, Bill, in light of that, would it make more sense in light of health concerns, let's say, would it make more sense just to do this online? Just have a special meeting dedicated to talking about forms, or is this something that you really need to sit down and spread stuff out?
As long as we sit far enough apart, wear masks and wear gloves if we're passing things around.
Well, how does everybody feel? I mean,
I'm 6 and 7s because I've got a husband who's going to have knee replacement surgery within 2 months, and I don't want to expose him to the flu or COVID.
So, just do this online, Bill, and just make sure I would want Marla to verify that we have all of the forms that we're talking about, distributed in advance.
Yeah, I just had COVID, and I have a 97-year-old mother in a nursing home right now that I see every day. So if we could do it online, that would be better for me.
all right. Well, online it is then. If John, you can drive the ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so this is the January 14th.
Yep.
Special
6:00.
meeting.
At 6:00
Special meeting.
p.m.
Mhm.
It's a little earlier because that way we figured we were probably going to be jibber jabbering a lot. So we wanted to make sure we had enough time and wasn't going to fall asleep.
Okay.
Something comes up, John, let me know and we'll see if we can do something else.
Yeah, if we
Okay.
have to delay it, that's fine too. I mean, there's nothing here that's really, really urgent. If we decide, we could move forward on the transfer and the modification forms easily enough. We don't, because they're separate and distinct. And the advice to the public, that can wait too, because that's not real critical. It would need to go up probably by the time the construction season starts. So if we want to get past this time, we can do that. Do you want to rethink it because of the heightened flu? Supposedly really contagious.
Well,
Well, as long as we're zooming, we should be okay, right?
Yeah. Yep. So we could make a decision on those two forms anyways at that meeting. Maybe not make a decision on all the others.
Yeah.
And maybe we could decide on the advice to the public at that meeting.
I
and not
think that's an important one. I mean, I think a lot of the things that we found that people have no clue what they're supposed to be doing. And I think that might be one of the ones we can start with.
So even if we decide to put off the comprehensive application form to a later time, that's fine too. We can, we don't have that level of applications coming in that requires us to make immediate modifications. And maybe by then DEP will have its reporting form electronic. They're going to be requiring electronic reporting forms. And I don't know what the timing of that is. When we went to Cacuic annual meeting, they didn't really have a specific timeline that I recall. Do you recall one, Bill? I don't recall. I don't recall them saying what it was.
no.
Oh. So I guess we'll still do that meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least
Okay.
get going on this because we've got
Okay.
other things to look at too.
Yep.
This meeting was probably supposed to have bylaw review. So January we do that?
February we have to do that, I believe.
I thought that was election of officers in
Yeah,
February.
but we also review the bylaws on that same month.
Okay.
So, all right. So for next regular meeting, we'll do bylaws and elections.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the bylaws themselves.
Yeah.
The requirements for it.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I think, but I'm sure I have, Marla, all of the draft forms,
Mhm.
so we can build that out. And Bill,
Mhm.
I'll send you a draft agenda later this week, and we'll go from there.
Okay, sounds great.
We just need to, well, it's a special meeting, online only, so we actually need to
Mhm.
publish 48 hours ahead, not 24. But so that'll
Yeah.
go up no later than next Monday.
Yeah, and whatever we put on the agenda is the only thing we discuss.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Is there any other business that we need to discuss at this point?
I'd like to put something on the table for everyone to consider, possibility of changing our meeting time from 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock or 6:30. In light of the fact we haven't lately, but I mean, tonight's really unusual, but we've been running 3-hour sessions. And if we're going to continue doing that, I'd like to see us start maybe a little bit earlier, just as a thought for people to think about.
Well, we could probably at least back up a half hour, maybe in 6:30, see how that goes. And I was talking to somebody else from another town, and they talked about having 2 meetings per month, but I don't see us wanting to do that.
Yeah. Well, it also, it's not about our own situation, but also the public convenience.
Yeah.
I
Which
was-
I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, somebody had a
I
comment?
was, we'd have to change it in the bylaws. So, section 8 of the bylaws on meetings talks about the first Monday of each month at 7 PM. So we could change it next month
Yeah.
when we
And you'd
review
also
the
have to,
bylaws.
you've also approved, I believe, in December or November, your schedule of meetings for the year that we're currently in. So if you're going to change them, we'd have to repost it with the town clerk and give her at least a month to
Mhm.
repost it with the Secretary of State. It's just a procedure.
Yeah.
Something to think about it, just because we're looking at having to bring our pillows to the meetings.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because here's another thing that the Yukon Clear and another group, I think the Natchog River Watershed Group, are trying to develop some short videos as training videos. And they're kind of proposing that we include these videos at our meeting, that they be about 20 minutes in length. I don't have any final date for that or any final format for that or anything, but obviously if we have a long agenda, that's something we'd have to punt. And it would also significantly extend our meetings potentially. So we'll have to see what they come up with and how they want to incorporate it and how we want to incorporate it. But the intention is to be a training thing for wetlands or conservation commissions.
Well, how about for a possibility for the timing? If we had the bylaws changed to read the first Monday of the month at 7 PM, or not at 7 PM, at some time between 6 PM and 8 PM at the discretion of the committee. We could move it around if we wanted to.
Well, it's not just the commission. We have to think about, is that a public hearing? When is it convenient for the public to attend?
Well, public hearings, we have so few of them. Those could be actual special meetings.
But I mean, even applicants have to come and.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we could hold, public hearings could be a special meeting. If we needed to have it earlier than the regular scheduled meeting, we could hold a special meeting before the regular scheduled meeting.
Yeah.
So
I'm just looking at it from the applicant position.
Mhm. So I would suggest that everybody take a look at the bylaws before next month's meeting and see what changes they want to do. They are posted on the web. So I've already got a very short list of some changes that I'd like to see. You might want to take a look at the agenda, because the agenda is laid out in the bylaws as to how if you want to change any changes on that. that's up, that's up for grabs at next month's meeting when we do the election of officers.
Okay, is there any other business we would like to bring up? Is there any citizens left to comment? I don't believe we have anybody. Dan, do you have any comment that you would like to make since you're a guest this evening as secretary?
Oh, happy to help you guys. Just gonna take on a few commissions and boards. I've got nothing really to do at night. I've been working construction during the day, just piecing it together. But it's good to see everybody here.
Good to see
Good to
you.
see you too.
Yeah.
Not sure how you got so fuzzy, but
He was always that way.
I just wanted to say thank you, everybody. You guys have an overwhelming amount of knowledge. I'm going to have to figure out how to learn something here.
oh,
But-
good luck. Let's do that together, okay? I
I'll
still
call you.
A little bit at a time.
Oh, wow.
Well, one
Thank
thing we can
goodness.
try to do is, I'm working with Kathy to try to come up with a listing, since she's our newest member, asking her, what things did she need to know about when she first came on board? So what documents should we have readily available for new commission members, and provide those to you so that you don't have, that you're not running blind, initially. It's overwhelming at first.
I'm just going to try not to render an opinion on things I know nothing about. That's how I'm going to start.
No, but you can ask a lot of questions. That's what the commission members can do when the applicants
Yep.
come in. You've got a question, and you heard Kathy tonight, I never knew
Yeah.
that about driveways. Yeah, yeah, no, we've got to ask questions. So, and that's
Yeah.
how you learn.
No question is stupid either.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Just for clarity, that the appointments will be that Grace will be a full member and Mark will be stepping down as an alternate.
Oh,
that's-
who did we lose?
Good.
Mark will be
Mark.
stepped down to become an alternate.
And good luck on your operation if we don't hear
Yeah,
from you
thank you.
before then.
Yeah, Kathy, I've been on the commission 30 plus years. I'm just getting tired.
Are you the one that's
know.
stepping down?
Yeah, I'm moving from being a full member down to an alternate.
To be a half a member or a
Yeah,
third?
yeah, half a member. So if any of you can't make it on any particular evening, I can try to be there so that you'll have quorum and you can do business. So.
Oh, well, that's, I mean, it's good for you, but it's too
Yeah.
bad because I've learned a lot from all of you. Not sure
Yeah.
where I'm remembering it, but
Yeah.
there is a lot of knowledge in this room, Grace, a lot of
Yeah,
knowledge, even though we're in different rooms.
The only other thing I want to comment on is that the pay for recording secretary is probably nowhere near adequate,
Oh, no.
because for every hour of meeting, if you've got to go through the recordings, it could take up to
Yep.
3 hours of work for 1 hour of meeting. And if we have a 3 hour meeting, that's 9 hours of work.
Yep.
So the pay is kind of pitiful for that.
Plus attending the
keep that-
meeting. Plus
Yeah.
attending the meeting. So you basically
Yeah.
have 12 hours of employment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I try to be
So keep that.
What, Dan?
very efficient.
I know you are.
Good.
I know
Good
you
for
are.
you,
You know
yes.
what you're doing.
Yeah.
And we can help it along and try to get our meetings down to 2 hours instead of 3 hours.
Okay. Oh, that was a snarky little request.
Speaking
How
of
can we
that,
do-
You're right.
How can we
I
do
would
that?
entertain a motion to adjourn. Anybody?
I make a motion, we adjourn. Stuart Peasley.
I second.
Oh, okay.
Okay, motion by Stuart Peasley, second by Kathy Barrett, to adjourn at 8:19 PM. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain?